أرحب بك يا شهر رحمة أرحب بك يا شهر رمضان بك أرجي لقاء قرب ربي بك روحي وقلبي قد صار رمضان مبارك لكل مسلم شهر الذي فيها ينازل القرآن Happy Ramadan for all Muslims of the Quran descends in this holy man. Welcome you all.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin Amin. We are grateful to Allah for this day. We thank Him for immense protection and guidance. We send salutation to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah be pleased with us and may Allah guide us to the right path. Viewers, this is the Virtuous Woman program and it is brought to you by Deen GH TV and it is being sponsored by Al Mu'id Development Foundation and then Deen Dawa Project. Today we are going to talk about preparation towards the Ramadan. With me here is Hajia Rukaya Damalie. She is a lecturer at Takrady Technical University and she is going to talk about the preparation towards Ramadan. Hajia, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So Hajia, Ramadan is just at the corner and I believe we are all preparing towards Ramadan. So as a woman or as women, how are we going to prepare for the Ramadan both spiritually and physically? Let's talk about the spiritual aspect of Ramadan first.
Well, thank you very much, my sister Hajia Fatima. Ramadan is a bride waiting to be welcomed into our homes.
Inshallah.
And I can't wait. I can't wait. I know you are also very expectant.
Inshallah.
And just as any endeavor, once you want to embark on it, you'd have to prepare. So our scholars tell us that for Ramadan, you would have to prepare physically and spiritually. If you want us to talk about the spiritual aspect, I have come to learn that once you are expecting Ramadan, you would ask yourself, what are the activities I'm supposed to engage in during Ramadan, so that would inform you of what you need to do. Now, you know, in Ramadan we are going to fast, of course. We are going to pray our daily salat, but we are going to do additional salats. We are going to give more to charity, and we are going to do more adua, asking for Allah's goodness and openings of opportunities. And so if this is what we are expecting to do during Ramadan, then the thing to do would be to start practicing those before Ramadan comes. For instance, we can follow the Prophet's sunnah, follow his sunnah by doing Mondays and Thursdays fasting
right,
to warm up.
right,
One scholar and Imam Sheikh Rashid Odin says it's a warming up. And so you start with those. If you haven't been doing them in the past, then you start with those, or you do the 3 days in a month kind of, which is past though.
The 3 white.
Yes. I missed that opportunity though. But alhamdulillah, I tried the Mondays and Thursdays, and so I pray that I have warmed up enough to welcome Ramadan, inshallah, very soon.
All right, thank you, Hajia. Hajia, you were talking about warming up, like doing fasting Mondays and then Thursdays. Now we have 12 days in a year in the Islamic calendar.
12 months.
12 months. So which of the months are we supposed to do the Mondays and then the Thursday fasting to warm up?
Well, in every month but Ramadan.
Okay, so it's starting from Muharram to Shaban.
As far back as Muharram to now Shaban. You could have been trying that if you did not at that point in time in these short days before Ramadan, you could try a day or two, not necessarily the Monday and Thursday, because if you want to wait for that opportunity, you may be overtaken by the Ramadan fast itself. So for the days remaining, you could pick, apart from Fridays where you would go to Juma, and so it's a small Eid. You don't want to fast and you are not in the mood when people are being happy and all that. So apart from that, I think that you can fast any other day to warm up. Know if your system is in good shape. If you have problems, then you quickly look for remedies before our bride arrives.
Right. Adia, you talked about activities during Ramadan. You mentioned fast itself, you mentioned prayers, and then additional prayers or salat. You mentioned charity, and then you also mentioned dua. We are going to take them one by one and then talk about them. Our viewers, you are watching the Deen GHTV, and it's kindly brought to you by Al Mu'id Development Foundation and then Deen Dawa Project. Adia, let's talk about fast itself. You are talking about activities, and then the bigger activity is fasting. Now, what comes into fasting? When we talk about fasting, people always think about refraining from food and water. Is it the only thing that we should refrain from?
Well,
apart from food and water.
Thank you. There's more to it than just food and water.
No.
When you are even not fasting, let's start from that. When you are not even fasting, Allah is expecting that you don't backbite, you don't talk about people, you don't. That is slandering. You try and control yourself in the society, compact yourself. That is to say. So, fast forward to fasting, you are expected to even be more conscious of that you are restraining yourself from water and drink. If you are married, you are restraining yourself from sexual activities during the period of fasting, and then you remember Allah more. You do zikr, you try and read about your religion. If not, there are many dies now all over the place. You can listen to them on their previous Ramadan recordings, so that you can even make your Ramadan better. I think you'd have to move away from this WhatsApp chit chat. Some platforms are not really healthy. They will take your time, one, and then two, perhaps the contents. And then if you are a woman, even if you're a man, you try not to mix a lot. Some of we women, given the place of work, we tend to have a lot to do with the other sex. So we talk, there's holding of hands and all that. As much as possible, let's use this period to further restrain from that act, so that it becomes a habit after Ramadan.
Yeah, to add to that, Aja was saying that if you are a married man or a woman, you should refrain from sexual intercourse. I think even if you are not married, you should also refrain from that. That is a no-go area for you at all. Even if, but the married men, after breaking of the fast in the evening, you can have a conjugal relationship with your husband. Aja, let's talk about prayers. The 5 daily prayers, the 5 compulsory daily prayers during the month of Ramadan. How are we to do it?
Well, if we were doing it before Ramadan, that is keeping to prayer time, not adding prayers to prayers, you know, so engaged in the activities, and we ignore Allah's call even when we hear the azan. Then this time we have to pay particular attention and try to pray on time. And when we are praying, we shouldn't pray like excuse my language, going to the loo and coming out. We are too much in a hurry.
Yeah.
We should be ready to stay in Allah's presence as much as possible, as long as we can, so that you know when you pray, even within the prayer, you have opportunities of doing a dua for your dua to be answered. So what better opportunities now when it is multiplied manifold in terms of what goodness will come to you. So we would have to take our time, pray on time, take our time when prayer. In fact, take care of wudu and ghusl if we have to. We have to make sure we've done them well, because Ramadan will go and you don't know if Ramadan will come to meet you again, and so you want to be careful about whatever it is you are putting in. Just like
Perhaps
when you are cooking,
it might be your last Ramadan, so you have to do it and do it well.
In fact, it's just like you cooking and adding salt. You know, you have to add the appropriate amount so that you can eat the food. And so Ramadan is said that everything that you are putting into it, that you are supposed to put into it, you must be careful about it. You must ensure that you have the most benefit of it. That is how I have taken it from the scholar's point of view.
All right, Adia, about prayers, there are people who during the month of Ramadan they will wake up and eat the suhoor, and then they will go and sleep again, and then by the time they wake up it's around 6-7 o'clock where Fajr is over. What are you going to talk about those people?
Well, you see, if it's not Ramadan, you would blame it on Shaitan. Yes, it's the case that Shaitan has been chained.
No.
So it is your own personal desire.
Sure.
Let's overcome it. That is why we shouldn't engage in so many things that would let us get tired, so that we won't be won't be slow, won't be down, a little food and want to sleep. No, this is the time. It's like a harvest time, you know. You are sowing and harvesting at the same time. So there's no time to say I'm going to lie down. If possible, take your Quran and read, or listen to an audio on Islamic topics, particularly one on Ramadan. There are a lot of them on the airways, in social media. Even materials to read are there. If not, take your younger one and teach him or her karatu, so that would engage you until prayer time. Yeah.
All right. You also talked about the additional prayers, additional salah. I believe you were talking about the Taraweeh and then the Tahajjud prayers.
Yes.
Now, some people are of the view that this Taraweeh and then the Tahajjud prayers are nawafil, and so if they do not do it, it's not necessary or it's not compulsory like the compulsory 5 daily prayers, and so some don't do it at all. You realize that when we start Ramadan, the first week, a lot the mosques will be full or filled up. A lot of people come to them. When we are entering the second 10 days, and then the mosques will be it will be reducing. The number of people who come to the mosque to pray the Taraweeh is reducing. What are you going to what are you saying about that?
Well, mine will be to encourage. Mine will be to encourage, because inshallah, this is, like I said, sowing and harvesting time at the same time. And so you would want to engage in halal behavior. And where best are you supposed to be when Taraweeh is being said? Where best are you supposed to be? Outside the mosque? If you are not a woman, even women are struggling, they are forcing to go for Taraweeh. When sometimes you go and when you have to go to the washroom and someone comes to take your position, when you come in, you are like, this is my place. I say, no, this is not Anglican or Presby where the seat belongs to you. This mat belongs to everybody. So even when women, some will get up as late as 2 a.m. going to do that, why will you say that Taraweeh and Tahajjud, you will not do it because it's nawafil? If it's nawafil, it is for you to make better your farid.
Yeah.
So why lose the opportunity?
Yeah, it's like
I
you
think
are
it's out of
working and then you are
ignorance.
having part-time.
Mhm.
So when you work, your main salary will be there,
Exactly.
but the part-time that you work, you also gain something
Exactly.
from it, and it will add
Exactly.
up to your salary, and you get a lot of money.
That is
So
very
why
much so.
don't we get a lot of money by doing nawafils and tahajjud? This program, you are watching Deen GH TV, and it's brought to you by Al Mu'id Development Foundation and then Deen Dawa Project. Aja, we are going to talk about charity. You also talk about activities during Ramadan and charity. You mentioned charity. Now, what do we do, or what kind of charity are we supposed to do during the month of Ramadan?
Well, alhamdulillah, you know, charity is even the smile you give the other person.
Sure.
You can imagine when now we have good weather. May Allah make it better in Ramadan. But if the saying that a hungry man is an angry man, if you let that overcome you, you can't even smile to this other person that you see, and that smile is charity. So why won't you do it? If it's like buying just a bag of sachet water and taking it to the mosque to be used in breaking fasts, for instance, if it's going to buy 100 pieces of oranges, peel and send to the mosque for people to use, for instance, whatever fruit, whatever little thing you can do to help, if it is even going to clean the mosque,
Sure.
it is also charity.
That is, if you don't have money to do all this, buying water, fruit, send it to the mosque. You can even go and then wash the urinal or clean the mosque,
or buy detergents to be used in cleaning
the mosque.
It's also part charity.
Of charity.
If even you have to prepare tea and add some bread and take it to the mosque during the break of fast, it's also charity. Any small thing you can do, don't overdo it. Don't do what you cannot do. And if you don't have, may Allah give you, but don't do what you cannot do. The little you do to make the process or the situation a bit easier for yourself and others is charity, even for yourself.
Yes, Adia, I think our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying that before you go out to do good to others, do it, let your own home or family members benefit from it. So during Ramadan, what kind of, or what charity are you to do, especially to our parents, our siblings? What are some of the things that we can do to gain the pleasure of Allah in Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah. During Ramadan, for our own selves, we can decide to feast together. Not iftar, but even the suhoor. We can wake ourselves up, each other up, and then try to take our suhoor together. It motivates us, and even the children who do not fast would even want to come and take some.
Of course. I quite remember when we were little. And when our parents wake up to do the suhoor, we also wake up, and then when we are eating, our mother will say that now you've eaten. When day breaks, you will take your breakfast. That's your breakfast. And then when day break, we also take our breakfast again. So that's the benefit of Ramadan.
So
even the little ones,
they get to learn.
Yes.
Then when it's time for prayer, you can call your sibling or your wife or your husband or your child. It's prayer time. It's also charity. Then
so you can pray together in the home, or you can go to the mosque together.
If that is what you wish to do, you can do that. But the men especially would want to go to the mosque, and that is fine. But the mothers should organize the children, and then we'll break our fast together. In fact, recite the adua that is recited after breaking fast. Even before that, we can do that. Allah accepts the prayer of the fasting person, right? So before we break our fast, we can all organize and do a dua for ourselves as a household, right? Then for our nation, then for the world.
Okay, so Aja, does that mean that the man, apart from going to the mosque, he can also pray, lead the prayers in the house for the wife and the kids to also follow?
Indeed.
During Ramadan.
Indeed. That can also be done. It depends on where you live. You see, if where you live you are closer to a mosque,
then you all go
then you
there.
would all want to go to
All
the
right,
mosque,
all right.
because it's a time to come together. It's a time to come together.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
when you live where a community where a lot of Muslims are. It's
Yes.
very beautiful during
Yes.
the month of Ramadan.
Yes.
You wake up, you go and then knock on somebody's. Then you wake, we wake each other up. We
Yes.
eat together, as you
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Then we go to the mosque, and
Yes.
it's very exciting
Yes,
during
and
the
one
month
thing
of Ramadan.
I would advise is that we organize iftar amongst ourselves. So
okay.
today we go to this house, tomorrow we go to the next person's house, so that we all get the blessings thereof.
So apart from the blessings, what else do we get apart from doing that? Apart from the blessings,
it brings
togetherness.
togetherness.
Yes.
It brings
Together,
togetherness.
even if we are not of the same family, but at
Exactly.
least your neighbor, it brings that we feeling amongst ourselves.
Exactly, and we can invite our neighbors who are not Muslims
Okay.
to partake, so that they can
In the
appreciate.
iftar?
Yes, they can appreciate the beauty
of it.
of Islam.
This reminds me of when we were at the UCC. We used to pray during Ramadan. We used to go to Ogwa Hall to pray, to break our fast. And then you realize that the Christians, university boys, they are ruffian. The Christians, when it is time for iftar and we are eating the bananas and the fruit, they will run and then come and then pick and eat. And then you see that those who fasted, they couldn't get anything to eat. So that reminds me. So we can invite them. That's what you are saying. We can invite
them so that they will appreciate the beauty of Islam.
Yes, it's true. All right, we are watching the Deen GHTV, and it's proudly brought to you by Al Mu'id Development Foundation and then Deen Dawa Project. Adia, the last one before we wrap up, we also talk about dua during Ramadan. Dua means prayers during Ramadan. Apart from the 5 daily prayers, when we finish, we sit down and also raise up our hands and then ask anything from Allah. Adia, what are some of the dua that we do when we sight the moon, for instance?
When we sight
the Ramadan moon.
Yes. I am not a Muslim scholar.
Okay.
So my layman opinion is to pray that inshallah we'll be able to fast for the whole 30 or 29 months.
Days.
Days. And that we have this intention of fasting. So the intention is declared.
Okay.
Yes, the intention is declared, then the adua is made, and that is with the help of Allah.
Okay.
That is with the help of Allah. Then you can commence your fast.
All right. So the prayers, the dua during the month of Ramadan, we have a prayer that we do when we sight the moon, prayer that we do when we going to start our fasting, and then when we want to break our fast too, we pray. And if you don't know the Arabic version of that prayer, as a Muslim, you can do it. You can say it in any language that way, and Allah knows best. Allah understands every language. We thank you very much, Ajia Rukaya. May Allah bless you abundantly.
May Allah bless you too for having me.
Yes, viewers, this is the Deen GHTV, and it's proudly brought to you by Al Mu'id Development Foundation and then Deen Dawa Project. Ramadan is just at the corner. These are some of the preparations that we need to do to enter into the month of Ramadan. May Allah make it beneficial for us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
سيدي الرئيس، سنفطر في القدس عاصمة فلسطين، يكتبها رب الأمنيات العالقة بين يا ليتها. سنفطر في القدس عاصمة فلسطين، يكتبها رب الأمنيات العالقة بين يا ليتها. سنفطر في القدس عاصمة فلسطين.